I could eat this every day. I'm
Nice.
gonna eat it for the next 2 days straight.
Hey guys, it's Juliet from the future, and I'm here with our meal prep that we just did. And if you are like me and you absolutely hate having to meal prep and you love eating out pretty much every meal, then this video is for you. Watch how you can make it so easy and enjoyable to meal prep, and then you're getting the exact amount of protein that you need in your day and you're keeping your calories in check. And while I have you here, if you have not hit that like and subscribe button, please do so. It really helps to spread the channel far and wide and share it with your friends. Okay, let's get to meal prepping this amazing lemon chicken harissa with pasta. I hate meal prep, but seriously guys, it doesn't have to be that bad. It doesn't have to take that much time, but there's a little bit of learning involved, I think, and having just the right tools. So we wanna show you just a few easy things that you can have. Two, really. The food scale.
Yep.
And an Instant Pot.
Or a slow cooker. Slow cooker works as well, but the Instant Pot speeds things up.
I think that everybody should invest in an Instant Pot, and they are ridiculously cheap now. And what takes you 3 to 5 hours to slow cook can take you 15 minutes in a pressure cooker. So if you are like me and you do not want to be in the kitchen, especially if you live in a place where you don't have access to a nice kitchen, here in Boulder, everything is so expensive, and this is all we got. This tiny kitchen from the 80s. And we, both of us barely fit in here. We knock shit over when we're in here together. So,
no excuses is what she's trying to say.
I'm trying not to have excuses. And so, yeah, let's walk you guys through it.
We are making lemon harissa chicken pasta.
Are you sure it's harissa and not harissa?
It could be harissa. Apologies.
You guys can tell us in the comments below. Is it harissa or harissa? So what do we need for this?
Let's get the ingredients out and we'll show them.
What's great about this is it's very minimal ingredients, but it packs so much flavor and it has a lot of nutrition. So obviously we have some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. We've got our pasta. We are doing the Brahmi protein pasta. Really like this pasta because you're getting 12 grams of protein per serving, and it seems to be difficult to get enough protein each day. So this is a really, really nice way to increase your protein intake. We've got an onion. We're gonna add some zucchini for veggies and some already chopped kale. There's our lemon, and then peeled garlic. Notice how we took the lazy route and we did not buy garlic. We just bought the already peeled garlic. And then sun-dried tomatoes. We bought harissa sauce instead of making it from scratch, easy peasy. And the same thing with tzatziki, because it doesn't call for a lot. So if you make your own tzatziki, you might end up having a lot more than you need. So this is really great because you can use this for other things throughout your week too. So we just bought some store-bought tzatziki. And that's it. That's gonna make, aside from like some spices, this is gonna make our whole meal for at least a few days.
It'll make 5 meals.
5 meals is pretty good. All right.
One of the things that I've done to make this as easy as possible is I've entered the recipe, and I have a whole recipe book that I've entered into ChatGPT. So whenever I make these recipes, I can actually just talk to ChatGPT and say, hey, what ingredient do I need next? What are the steps to make this? And if I ever need to adjust the recipes, let's say I only want to make 5 servings instead of 10, it'll automatically adjust everything on the recipe. So it's super simple that way, and it's just another tool that we can use to help simplify your meal prep. Basically, I'm just gonna talk into it and say, hey, tell me what to do for step 1. All right, so it's coming up. Step by step, prep your ingredients. First, we need to dice the onion, tomatoes, and juice and zest the lemon. And just to give you an overview for this recipe, there's basically 3 steps. So first, we're gonna prepare the vegetables, combine them with the chicken in the Instant Pot and cook them there. While that's cooking, we're gonna cook the pasta separately. And lastly, we'll combine the pasta and the chicken and vegetables with a little bit of cheese to give it some creaminess.
How do you not cry when you chop onions? The world wants to know.
There's no answer. I cry every time.
You do?
Yeah.
I feel like you chop them so much, haven't you gotten used to it yet?
I haven't acclimated to the...
It's so bad for me that I have to go over to the sink and I can't see for like 2 minutes straight. You seem like you're handling it pretty well.
I'm good at hiding things.
All right, what do we got here?
So far we have our onions, we have our garlic, and I'm getting the sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes pack a lot of flavor. It's a great ingredient to add into things. Also, please don't chop your fingers off while we're making a YouTube.
That's how you get views.
Remember when you cut your finger on the can making chili?
I will never forget that.
Show everybody your scar on your finger from chopping your finger, almost chopping your finger off.
Can you see that?
Barely. How much was that medical bill for just...
It was too much. It was in so many different bills that I have no idea.
We kept getting so many bills for Mackie's finger, and it was just very minor, thankfully, when he cut his finger when he was making chili. But the bills would be like, the washing of the finger, $400. The bandaging of the finger, $300. Antiseptic, $200. We were just laughing. We had to laugh. Like, how many more freaking medical bills can we get for your silly little finger, Mackie?
It's too much. So right now I'm on a calorie deficit, which means that I am eating less calories per day than I'm expending, which will ultimately lead to weight loss. So one of the biggest challenges with being in a calorie deficit is the idea that when I track, how do you know how much you're eating? There was a study recently that said that people underestimate their calories by 43% when they enter into a tracker. So the best way to do it is to actually weigh out your food. And it's super simple. It's an additional step, but it makes things so much easier and it relieves so much anxiety when I'm entering it into the tracker because I know exactly how much I'm eating. So what we're gonna do here is we have the sun-dried tomatoes and I wanna know how many grams of sun-dried tomatoes I'm adding. So I've got my bowl of ingredients right here. I'm just gonna hit tare, which turns that to 0.
Now, are you weighing out your onions and garlic or no?
No, because I can just enter in 1 large onion and it's close enough. They're so low in calories that it doesn't matter that much.
Okay, but the sun-dried tomatoes.
A little bit higher in calories, so I do wanna be more accurate with that.
Okay.
Add those in and it's 29.5 grams.
And then you're building out this recipe, right? So once you do this, you don't have to do this over and over again.
Right, so in my tracker, I have this recipe, actually since I've already made this recipe once before, I already have the ingredients entered in. All I need to do now is edit the amounts because everything's gonna be a little bit different. I have a little bit more chicken, I have a little bit less vegetables, so I'm gonna enter in new amounts so that way it's accurate, but we'll divide everything by 5 servings so we know exactly how much we're getting in each meal. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing with my zucchini. I've hit tare and I'll add those in. The tare button is your friend because that will turn everything to 0 every time. 200 grams of zucchini. Here's a perfect example of how easy it is to use ChatGPT for meal prepping. I have honey, and the recipe calls for a ½ tablespoon of honey, and I can just say, how many grams of honey do I need in my recipe? And it will then tell me, for your recipe, you need 10.5 grams. So instead of having to measure out and get a tablespoon all sticky, I can just measure out the grams, add that in, and make sure you hit tare.
For our spices today, we're gonna add salt, garlic powder, paprika, Italian seasoning, and honey.
Okay, I've prepped my vegetables. What's next?
ChatGPT is like your little sous chef.
He tells me what to do. We're gonna saute all these up and then we're gonna add our chicken. Okay, so right now we're gonna saute, so I do have to be here, but once I add the chicken in and the rest of the harissa sauce, then we'll be able to just set it and forget it.
Another really great tool that we think you should all have.
The electric water kettle.
The electric kettle, because we're gonna make some pasta and we're just gonna boil this, and it takes a minute to boil the water and it'll make things just go a lot faster.
All right, we have our Brahmi protein pasta. We're just gonna use the whole box, so pretty easy. All right, so while the vegetables are sauteing,
Wow, I'm really bad at this. There we go.
Looks really good. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of the harissa sauce now.
So good.
And we'll be adding a little bit more after it's cooked, but this will infuse it into the chicken.
What's in harissa? Why is it so freaking good?
I don't know. Red bell pepper, red chili pepper, garlic, extra virgin olive oil, cider vinegar, salt, and citric acid. So pretty simple. All right, you're gonna add the water. Beautiful.
You okay?
I'm actually starting to cry now, the spice. Whew. Okay, so we have our chicken. And I just want to note it's 1.53 pounds. That way I know when I go to track it. But I've added a little bit of water to our mix right here, and then we are just going to put all of the chicken in.
That's nice that when you buy the chicken, it tells you how much chicken you're getting.
Yeah, super easy.
You don't have to
weigh.
actually weigh the chicken out.
Right.
It says it on the package.
And then I'm gonna add a little bit of kale. We have our pre-cut kale. I'm gonna add that into it. And again, this is another one that I don't need to measure because it's like 0 calories basically. From here, we're gonna put our lid on, hit the seal, and I'm gonna hit poultry, 15 minutes. It'll take some time to build up pressure, but once it builds up pressure, 15 minutes, and then we'll do a quick release on that.
Once you prep all the ingredients, it's really fast.
It's fast, but also remember that there will be another 5 minutes or so for the pressure to release. So it's 15 minutes of actual cooking time. It'll really be in here for about 30 minutes.
He gets chicken. High protein, baby. Oh, what do you want? Chicken?
All right, we're back. It's a couple hours later.
The best thing about having a pressure cooker is that you can leave and come back. And we just came back from hot yoga and our food is ready. We just need to now put it in the different individual Tupperwares for the week, and that's it. So we're gonna show you guys how we do that and how we measure everything out so that we have it all portioned.
Time to do the honors. Let's see what we got. We haven't looked at it yet. There it is. All the kale's on top.
Just mix it.
Yeah, we'll just mix it up, and we're gonna shred the chicken. And then I'm just gonna use my fork and spatula here to chop it all up. It's pretty soft, it's not too bad. So I'll just chop it all up, so that way it's easier to portion out into the individual servings. And it'll be mixed in. Chicken is shredded, the pasta's cooked. Now we need to make it a little bit creamy. So we have some unsweetened almond milk and we have some low-fat mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna have a cup of almond milk and I'm actually gonna mix it with about a teaspoon of cornstarch, which will thicken up in here to give it a nice creamy texture. And the reason why I mix it first, because if you just put the cornstarch directly into the big bowl, it could be clumped up. So this way I can get rid of the clumps before we're entering it in. All right, clump free, ready to go. I'm gonna dump that in. And then we need 95 grams of cheese.
It's not that much, but it makes a big difference in this recipe.
Yeah, it really tastes good.
Perfect. Are we dumping it?
No, we're gonna enter it slowly.
Oh.
Kind of mix it in. That way it gets evenly distributed.
Okay.
Yes.
Technique.
Yes. All right, cheesiness is done. And we have 2 last ingredients to add. We're gonna add another 2 tablespoons of harissa sauce and some lemon juice. Lemon juice going in, boom.
Freaking hate this kitchen. So small, and I just knocked over the cornstarch, guys. Lame. Harissa, harissa, make it taste so good.
The reality, Instagram versus reality. We have our chicken mixture with all the vegetables and the spices, and we have our pasta. What we're gonna do now is weigh them out and then divide by 6. So a lot of people ask us, how do you measure something that has a bunch of different ingredients? If you just make a big pot of something, you track how many ingredients went into the bowl, then you know how many calories are in it, and you just divide it by however many servings you make. So we're gonna make 6. So right here we have 2,694 grams. Write that down.
2,694. Okay.
And then we're gonna subtract 840 because that's how much the bowl weighs.
Oh, so you should write that down in advance, right?
Yes. In fact, that's a pro tip. If you write down all your different bowls that you're going to use, then you know how much they are always. 1,854 grams is our total weight right there. Divide that by 6 servings. So each serving is going to be 309 grams of our chicken mixture. Now the other thing we're going to weigh out is our pasta. Each serving is going to get 119 grams of pasta. Now it's time to assemble our bowls. We have our Tupperwares lined up. Just gonna hit tear. Boom. All right.
Okay, so now let me just show everybody. To me, when I saw it visually, I'm like, damn, that is not a lot of pasta. If I don't portion things out, I would eat, I'm not kidding you guys, probably 6 times that amount in a bowl. So this has been a really great reality check. And once you add everything in, it ends up being so much food and you are really satisfied. So it's definitely been teaching me a lot about how I just overeat. I was just taught to overeat as a kid. And so when we do this, it's really, really helpful because I am just having enough that really satiates me versus overeating all the time.
So now we are going to hit tare. So we're back to 0 and we are going to add in how many grams?
309 grams of the sauce.
Boom.
Once you add in the sauce, it's a lot of food. It's a lot of protein. Damn, keep going with that. Give me those portions.
So here's how I would close it up and put it in the fridge. And then when it's time to eat, you can then add your tzatziki sauce. I'm adding 2 tablespoons.
This makes the flavor.
And maybe
adding
a
the
little,
tzatziki. And maybe
if you
a
have
little more lemon.
lemon.
Yeah, lemon on there.
Okay, I added 30 grams. I'll add that to my tracker. And there's my meal. 500 calories.
So excited. How many of these do you think we would have eaten before we started portioning our food out?
This would have
if you and I made this
for two meals.
we used to eat so much food.
It would have been 4 servings instead of what's 6.
I don't even know. I think it would have been like 3. All right, well, we've got 4 beautiful meals that are super easy to grab out of the fridge for the next couple of days, and then our dinner for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed this and want to see more videos just like this of meal prep, let us know in the comments below. And also, if you want to watch another video, YouTube is recommending this one that we've done. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys so soon.